Okay, I figure I'll get my 2 cents in about the Super Bowl. Not that I cared one bit about it. Of course, I watched it just to see what kind of propaganda would be pushed out this year between the commercials and the halftime show. So I watched up to about halftime. First of all, let's talk about how it opened up with the war propaganda. Um, you got the troops sitting there dedicating the Bruno Mars songs to their family members. It's the whole patriotic, support the troops. Which look, I support the troops in a way that I feel bad that these people, these family members, are being sent off to be sacrificed in these false wars that are doing nothing to protect our freedoms. Here, obviously, we're losing our freedoms every day. Just signed away with a pen and nobody's doing anything about it. But yet, somehow, us being over there, bombing innocent people, trying to dictate a whole country over it, somehow that's protecting our rights with this BS propaganda that they got weapons of mass destruction. Same Bush pulled. Then he jokes about it, looking under the desk. Oh, no WMDs here, and laughing about it as if it's hilarious that we went and slaughtered a bunch of people, lost a bunch of our troops in a war that was made up off of lies. Right? There's no war being fought. I can tell you that right now just by the fact of what we do at work. I don't talk about my job much because you gotta be careful, I guess, what I say. But I'm not going to sit there and be scared to say, we work at a plant that builds aircraft engine. All right? Use your imagination. All right? So the fact that they just laid off almost 300 people, thank God I was able to keep my job for now. This shows that they've lost basically either one, they're not getting the orders they were, and two, some of the stuff's probably being outsourced. I know it is, but that's just showing you. And during war times, that's what built this country. Showing the fact that we're losing jobs shows you there's no war. It's all propaganda. It doesn't take add two and two together to show that it's bull. If we was over there fighting a war, it was a real war, and they would need supplies, and it's not there. All right, moving on. Let's see. I don't know how many people caught this. Some people did. I thought I was the only one. Man, it's hot in here. Jeez. After the kids opened up for Bruno Mars singing the choir, and they changed the lyrics, and I'm pretty sure at the end of that song it doesn't say prepare. I mean, what was that? It's in there flashing prepare on the screen. Then Bruno Mars comes on and starts singing. Thought that was pretty weird. I caught that right off the bat. I'm like, what the hell? I asked my parents, I'm like, you see that? It was in there flashing prepare. I'm like, prepare for what? Now that kind of ties in. I'm thinking, are we looking at a total collapse coming? You just had a fourth supposed suicide from these bankers. I'm guessing this is mob style type stuff. It's like either these guys, a couple of them maybe really did commit suicide and they lost everything, and it's just going to start coming down the line, or these guys were worried about these guys talking about what's coming down the line. Either way, it's something bad's coming. So let's get on to some of the symbolism here. Okay, let's talk about some of the obvious stuff like Bruno Mars's performance. Well, if you didn't notice, he had the nice little pyramid just spinning around behind him. It's just blatant in your face, Illuminati symbolism, being a good little puppet he is. Yeah, in case you didn't know, or if you remember, um, Bruno Mars and Keon West and all these other puppets were on the Cleveland show singing about how cool it is to be Illuminati. So that just shows you right there. And they were joined on stage with Anthony Kiedis and Red Hot Chili Peppers, who Anthony Kiedis, in one of receiving an award, thanked Satan himself first out of everybody. And then we had this Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Magic's being spelled with a K, like Aleister Crowley spells it when referring to sex magic in his rituals out of his book. Let's take a look at some of the lyrics, Bruno Mars. See, this whole song is about sex magic, and it's almost like he's referring to himself as Satan about being locked out of heaven for too long. See, it's like a spiritual, it's like something spiritual. I'm born again every time you spend the night. You know, this is way deeper than just what appears. See, because your sex takes me to paradise. Yeah, your sex takes me to paradise. You know, and then he goes on to say, because it feels like I've been locked out of heaven for way too long, for far too long. So that sex magic makes him feel like he's in paradise, and almost like Satan's remembering heaven through that. It's so did anybody catch this guy before the Super Bowl? You know, throwing his hands together like a diamond shape. Then when he brings them together, of course, you know, he blocks out the beak, but you know, just leaving the eye to be seen. You know, was pretty slick. See, I believe in coincidence, but I don't believe anything these people do is coincidence. And if you notice, we got Denver about to run out with 27 and 11 in front. Guess what? That's 9/11. I saw some other 9/11 imagery, like in the commercials too. All right, now this one was slick. You see the seats. There was a commercial, and they show the seats, and they focus in on this one. You see the 9, the 7 and 8 prior before it were kind of blurred out. But look at the background. See, this picture had been messed with in a way that it's angled. Now, see, the chair directly be straight on is up and down, perfect. The other ones around it are at angles. That is the only one that's straight up and down. Now look at the imagery. Those two armrests are made to look like the 11 or the towers, and then you got the 9, and then straight back 11. The imagery is like perfect. All right, well, let me know if you caught something I didn't. You know, I didn't put everything on here I caught. There was one commercial, the one that showed the Charlie Brown bird sitting on the chair. If you noticed, the chair that he was sitting on was number 26. Thought that was a little nod to the Sandy Hook hoax, just to bring that number back in your head. This wasn't so blatant in your face this time, but the imagery was still there. So I figured I'd point out some of the things that I saw. Thanks for watching, and feel free to comment or bring something up I didn't. Later. God bless.